Hello everyone, Penny here. Hello. And we are doing My Bible Garden. And if you haven't checked out the week 2, I believe that I have posted that already in the group. And I'm trying to find week 2. With God in my garden, right? So with God in my garden. Now, just as a garden requires attention and care, and it requires cultivation at times, right? And so does our relationship with God. We're talking about Bible garden, we're talking about our Bibles and how that we use it to bloom seeds of inspiration and things like that. And, you know, um, we really need to have a good relationship with God. And that's what our Bible garden is about. It's about blessings, abundance, bringing forth a beautiful harvest from the seeds that were bloomed, and personal growth, right? But we do need to tend to our flowers. We do need to, like yesterday, I was out and I know I'm a little wobbly, sorry. I was out and the tulips were beginning to show forth, through all the piles and piles of leaves. So I took because I was out wild harvesting, and I took my walking stick, which is just really a big part of the trunk of a tree, and so a branch of a tree, I should say, and I was moving the all of the leaves and the dead leaves and vegetation and stuff, and I got to thinking about something. During the winter, all of that vegetation, all those leaves piling up, was actually protecting the bulbs that was under there, because we didn't remove the bulbs. We just let them go wherever. So it was protecting. So sometimes the messiness of life, sometimes God's delay is not necessarily God's denial. It's just a time of nourishing, a time of where all the brokenness, time of all the dead stuff, a time of all, like the new season, the old season still there, but the new season coming out, right? It's there for a purpose, and we have the leaves and the vegetation and dead leaves and all that on the ground for a reason. It provided warmth. It provided a home for the bugs to enrich the soil. And then it provided shade, and it provided the warmth and the covering from the harsh winter and the snow. And for those bulbs, last year we didn't have but one or two of those bulbs to come back up. This year, all of them, plus more, have sprung forth because I've left the vegetation from winter on there. And then yesterday I got my stick, was walking with my walking stick, and then I realized they needed to be uncovered because it's warmer now. And so I didn't want the rot, it to start rotting, so that it would actually rot out the bulb. So I removed the winter covering and all that stuff. And it was pretty thick. It was probably 6 or 7 inches thick, of dead leaves and stuff like that. So I found the most amazing I call them fishing worms. They're earthworms, right? Beautiful red worms in there. The soil was rich, and you could dig in it. And it was very pliable, and it was very, moist and nutritious for the plants. And the tulips are up about 7-8 inches tall now, and they are beautiful. So sometimes we have to just wait on God in our garden, and we just have to sit and just rest a while and keep praying and keep reading, of course, and keep getting those seeds of inspiration, while that we're nurtured, while that we're protected. And like I said earlier, God's delay is not God's denial. It's not a no from God. So certain times in my life that I thought I was in a situation, like for instance, I was locked in a elevator one time on campus, and there was no one with me. My cell phone did not work, but the fire button worked, right? So I pressed the fire button, and it had been broken. The fire button was actually broken off. I didn't think it was going to work, but I took a a pencil and pushed in there, with the wires, because that's all was there. This was college campus, right? So I pushed the wires with the pencil. And at that time, my dad was the fire chief, right? So I knew that my dad would get the message, that I was stuck in the elevator. So finally, for about, I guess it's 35 minutes, maybe, I was in the elevator. As soon as the elevator finally door opened, the lights come back on, the elevator door opened, there my dad stood. And, and I got to thinking about, at first I wanted to panic. At first I wanted to be upset, but later on, and it took me a while. It took me several years to really figure out why that happened. God was protecting me from what was out there happening. What I did not know is that there was a fight, and that there was police, and a girl had been attacked right in front of me, and I didn't even know it. So therefore, God was shielding me from that attack. And she did get stabbed and things like that. So see, God was I thought in my head that, I was being restrained, and when that happens, certain things can mentally affect you, right? But later on in life, I found out that God was protecting me through that, right? So sometimes when things that you go through something like that, it was just God's delay, not God's denial. Anyway, so let's get into my book here. But I just wanted to share that with you. With God in your garden, it's a whole different story. A garden without God is empty and no hope. But a garden with God, it blooms beautiful. So let me get into this wonderful book that I picked up. I'm just going to show you some wonderful things. Let me see. I'm sorry. I didn't have it pre-planned like I did the other one. So let me see if I can find... Sorry about that. We can just look at some beautiful flowers, right? I'm trying to find... So when we're referencing the garden, we're referencing the Bible, right? So I wanted to make sure everyone understood that. These are daffodils, and they are blooming right now. They are beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And these are the tulips that I've got. These are similar to the ones that I have, same color, that my sister-in-law, she's gone on to be with the Lord, but they were hers. And so those were left, and I was trying to protect those, right? Here's the beautiful tulips. I was trying to protect those. Here's the buttercups, daffodils for today. This is our flower for today. Now, I will tell you that daffodils are poisonous. Quinine. They are toxic, but they are very beautiful. A true daffodil is not a buttercup. There's a little bit of difference. It's a different species, but there is different buttercups. There's also a figwort that looks like a buttercup that we got blooming right now, and it is not a buttercup. It is not a buttercup. We've got some irises and beautiful flowers, but I just wanted to share with you that today. With all of that, I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful week. I'm sorry I did not come on Monday or Tuesday. I've had a lot going on, and I had someone in our church to pass this morning, so they are she is with the Lord now. So she's seeing the ultimate garden this morning. So I'm sorry, I'm going to tear up. So anyway, so God's presence in our lives, in our Bible garden, His presence turns our garden into a sanctuary of growth, renewal, and spirituality, where we're constantly nurtured, inspired, and encouraged to embrace the seasons of life with unwavering faith, trust, and resilience. Have a blessed and wonderful day, everyone. God bless.